Man, the detail work on these little planes is not my strong suit. Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Max and Max's models here. Hope everybody's doing well. I got back to work on that Esoteric 1/72nd scale F8C Helldiver, and although I did not put any plastic tabs on the inside of this vacuform kit when I put it together, I thought it was small enough I wouldn't need them, but I was a little off on that. I wound up cutting a strip to put inside the cockpit between the two crew member access holes because it was just too weak. That little bit of styrene there was flexing. It wouldn't stay lined up. So I had to put something behind it to firm it up. Now, I know these are common tactics with vacuform kits to put tabs and strips inside them to stiffen them up. And I might do another vacuform kit after this one. I got another one I stumbled on today and make for a few of the mistakes I'm making on this one. But I grind and grind and grind, and then I find out the tail section, although it's molded as one, actually you got to cut out that crosshatched part because they go in on the sides. I mean, you could put pins in them if you want to, but I had to trim that out. And then I got the wing finally sanded down enough and filed where I could go out and prime it. And I have to admit, that came out looking pretty good. At one point, I'm sitting there going, I finally got these nice round smoothed edges that I was going for, and it took quite a while. I mean, this is what the precious minutes of my life are doing. Sanding, 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 priming, sanding, putty, sand, prime, wet sand. And then you look at it when it's all nice and pretty and go, oh yeah, worth it. Absolutely worth it. Unfortunately, the rest of the quality of my craftsmanship didn't quite live up to that. Getting the parts together, as I knew would be the case with a biplane, was kind of the easy part. I went ahead and pre-painted the upper wing, of course the pink primer because I'm going to put yellow. The rest of it is an aluminum color, except I pre-painted the fuselage. I started pre-painting a lot of the parts actually, but I did also pre-paint some green on the fuselage, so I could let that harden and then mask it off. But unfortunately, all the putty and sanding wound up messing it up. I didn't realize how much it was going to need. And I'd used an acrylic, which just didn't hang on very well. No shock there. So I was like, okay, we'll revisit this later. First, let's get the sanding out of the way. And you see, when I put the green on, it worked kind of like a primer. It showed me all the defects. I was like, oh, gosh. So, but hey, finally got it all sanded down, shot some green lacquer on it, then let that harden, masked it off, then reprimed it, then shot it with the aluminum, and then I had my green fuselage cigar band, and of course painted the tail feathers red, and then you have to fabricate. They give you the raw material, but you have to fabricate all of the struts using this template. And this is when that CA accelerator really comes in handy. But also, I would add that I had put down some wax paper, because a lot of you guys know, I learned this building balsa kits, that CA doesn't really stick to wax paper. So that worked out fairly well. Got them on the airplane, again, butt joints, but thick CA and some accelerator. Made pretty quick work. Everything was looking great. And then I realized the wings were crooked, and you cannot adjust them. So great. One was actually sticking out further than the other, so off it came and remounted them, and then it looked right. Of course, propeller painted the blade tips. And then I started looking for the metal parts of the landing gear, and I couldn't find them. And I was like, wait a minute. I reread the instructions. I have to fabricate the landing gear out of this blank strut material they gave me. I could have swore I had seen some metal landing gear parts, but I think those were actually the gun ring parts. Like, great. So that is going to be so much fun. And I'm probably going to find some kind of thin wire or something to back it up with to add some strength to it, because this thing's got a metal engine. It's a little bit on the heavyish side. But progress is being made. It'll be one of those that it'll look good from a distance. It probably won't stand up to scrutiny up close, but to be honest, I'll just be happy if it looks presentable when I'm done. These vacuform kits, to me, are kind of tricky, but I haven't built that many of them. But I have hopes yet that, from a distance, it'll look okay, up on the shelf or something. And so then I actually was going back and forth between this and the Aurora Chinook, the old HC-1B kit that Jim gave me. And I know a lot of people are like, don't build it, don't build it. Well, I have great news, guys, because building it's not a problem. Because as I inventoried all the parts, I realized that there's a lot of pieces missing. And there's enough probably to build one complete helicopter. But there's a lot of parts missing, and some of it had already been started, so no guilt. This wasn't a virgin kit on the runner trees or anything. Surprising is I can't find the instruction sheet, so I went and downloaded one off ScaleMates, or the decal sheet. Now, I know I had them, and I would have put them someplace safe. Someplace so safe that I forgot where I put them, and I can't find them. And I tore the Tarbus apart looking for it, and came here in the office and searched around all the places I would keep something safe, and no joy. And I have no idea where they got off to. It's not like it's a small decal sheet either, but I just don't know. But I'm not planning to make it in those colors anyway. I don't really need the decal sheet because I'm going to do something else with it, especially since the kit's kind of not all there. And I'm like, okay, now I really have a free hand. So I'm going to do something cool with it. I have enough to make probably almost one complete helicopter, maybe one complete helicopter. And the other one, I'm just going to have some fun with, and we'll see what comes of it. And you know what? I'm not going to say it. You guys are already thinking it. I'm not going to say it. So that will be where I'll pick up when I get back to building models. Tomorrow I probably won't be doing any building because I will be getting ready for our live stream. And great news, we're scheduled to have John Kitt of Scale Car Garage with us. I know a lot of you have watched his channel, familiar with his work, because the subject of the day will be Indy car kits and Formula One car kits, and probably racing car kits in general. We have, now we're this month, at the end of this month, we're doing the first build kit, the first kit you ever made. I'll put in the comments or the description below, I will include the build schedule. But next month, it was supposed to be IndyCar, but I was like, I can't tell an Indy car from an F1 car. And I know a lot of you guys are really big into both of them or some of them. So IndyCar or F1 car. Okay, they're both good for next month's group build. I went ahead and got on eBay. I ordered the Domino's March 88C, the hot one, because I put myself through college working at Domino's. I worked at Domino's for years, part-time as both. That place sustained me for several years, and so I was like, well, go with what you know. So that's what we have for tonight. I look forward to having John with us on the live stream. I anticipate we're all going to have a lot of fun. You guys take care of yourselves. We'll talk at you later. And as always, model on.